Hi, this is a short video where I will share 3 tips from an experience of evicting a gang methamphetamine cook from a rental property. My name is Patrick Rankin. I'm the director of Good Neighbors Property Management. You can find us on goodneighbors.co.nz, and like Good Neighbors, we're always here for you. Now, I've been a property manager for 10 years now, and in that time I've worked for the big guys like Barfoot & Thompson and Ray White. I've also worked for the smaller guys like Lovegrove Realty and Harper Property Management. I'm really good at staying calm when everything around me seems to be going out of control, like having to evict a gang methamphetamine cook from a rental property. I was doing a routine inspection and I noticed cameras outside the garage. I had to stay cool and pretend I didn't see them, continue with my inspection, and then work my way to evict the tenant. And the tenant's last words to me were, if he were younger, he would have tied me up and thrown me in the boot. So here are 3 quick tips I've learned from that experience. And tip 1 is to vet your tenants properly. Now, a lot of times when a property has been vacant for longer than expected, poorer applicants, low quality applicants, will look a lot better because the property needs some rental income and you want someone in there. But really, you should still take your time. You should take the property offline and relist it, pay for a new listing, and set some more open homes and continue with the process until you find the right tenant. And tip 2 is to learn how to manage conflict and tension, because 10 years in property management will give you a lot of opportunity to practice managing conflict and tension, or a lot of opportunity for conflict and tension to drag you down and cause burnout. Now, in my 10 years, I've learned how to manage conflict. Now, conflict is when an issue suddenly arises out of nowhere, unexpectedly, and it will trigger your fight or flight response. Now, the main thing is to be self-aware so that you know that when I feel threatened, my fight or flight response will kick in and I will get sweaty palms and I will be very edgy. Now, when I feel this way, I have to remember not to do anything. I have to just breathe, give myself 30 seconds to cool down before I do anything. So Jeb Blunt, the author of Sales EQ and Fanatical Prospecting, he calls it a ledge because he's training cold calling, and it can trigger the fight or flight response because it's quite scary and you might be put on the spot unexpectedly. And when you are, have simple go-to questions to ask the other person and keep them talking while you calm down, and then after 30 seconds or so you are able to regather yourself and respond like you know what you're talking about. So that'll help you manage conflict. The other thing I need to manage is tension, which is like stress. Tension is stress that you take from one activity into the next activity, which can be from work to home. And that's no good, especially for the wife and the kids and for myself. So I've had to learn how to manage tension, and Brendan Burchard, the author of High Performance Habits, taught me via his book that managing tension is done by releasing tension at the end of one activity and starting the next activity with intention. So he said to release tension, you can do mindful breathing and just repeat the word release, and you aim to release tension in your body and your thoughts. And then once that's done, a couple of minutes or so, then you can set intention for your next task. And this will keep your energy levels high and your enthusiasm and joy in life good at the level you want it to be. So yeah, learn how to manage conflict and tension. That's my tip 2. Because getting told that I was going to get tied up and thrown in the boot was not good. That was conflict, and I was thinking about that the whole day. That's tension. And tip 3 is an important one, which I still practice today, is get to know the neighbors of your rental property. Because when I was cleaning up this house after I had evicted the tenant, I met the neighbors on each side. They were both so happy that the tenant was gone, but they were also complaining about the gang patches that were on site, the domestic violence they had to deal with, and the kids not going to school. So if I had known these neighbors, and if they had known me, then we could have solved this problem a lot sooner. So those are my 3 tips. Vet the tenants very carefully, learn how to manage conflict and tension for your own sanity. And then tip 3 is to get to know the neighbors of your rental property. I hope this video demonstrates that I deeply care about my clients and that I know what it takes to stay calm when everything else around you seems out of control. If you like the video, please comment and subscribe and get in touch with us on goodneighbors.co.nz. Thanks.